When you start a new long-form channel, the first thing that happens is YouTube reviews your account to figure out if you're a real person and you're worth pushing out. If your channel looks empty or suspicious, YouTube has no reason to trust you yet and won't push your videos out anywhere beyond search. To avoid this, you need to make your channel look legit from the start. Warm it up, brand it personally, use an older trusted email, and enable third-level feature eligibility. The less your channel looks like spam, the more willing YouTube is to push your content out beyond just search. YouTube is way more forgiving with long-form than shorts. If you're not getting into the browse feed, your video's either bad or your channel just looks like spam. After you upload your first video, YouTube immediately transcribes everything you say, scans your thumbnail, and classifies your content. The algorithm is trying to figure out what your video is, who's it for, and whether it's safe to push. Then over the next 24 to 48 hours, it continues to build a profile on your content, with the main thing being your target audience. During this time, YouTube isn't really pushing your video out anywhere, it's just reviewing your data. That's why it takes a couple days before views start coming in on the first video of a brand new channel. This is where the metadata becomes the most important thing. YouTube's entire goal is to keep viewers on the platform for as long as possible. More time on YouTube means more ads watched, and more ads watched means more money to YouTube. So naturally, the algorithm's job is to find the videos that specific viewers would enjoy the most. To do that, it needs to know exactly who your video is for. If the algorithm can't figure out your target audience, it would rather push out someone else's content and actually understands, rather than risking showing yours to the wrong person. Like I said before, you really need to focus on your metadata here. Your title needs to clearly tell YouTube what the video is about, and then tags, chapters, and timestamps all give the algorithm more context. Your thumbnail matters too because YouTube's AI is actually reading it. It scans for faces, objects, and text. The clearer everything is, the faster it matches your video to the right people. Typically, channels that write vague titles and leave descriptions empty are forcing YouTube to guess. And once again, YouTube doesn't want to take the risk showing it to the wrong person. Once the data is collected and the target audience is determined, YouTube starts testing your video through browse to collect initial data and decide whether to keep pushing it or not. Similar to shorts, the algorithm pushes out your videos in kind of waves. YouTube is testing your video against small groups and watching how they respond. If they respond well, YouTube slowly ramps up impressions. Then depending on how the next group responds, it either keeps ramping up, slowing down, or plateaus. And before you guys ask me about why my studio looks so much better than yours, I use New Studio, which is by far the best Chrome extension if you want to take YouTube seriously. So how do we get YouTube to push your video as much as possible? Well, this comes down to the stats. There's 3 stats you need to be focusing on, with the first being click-through rate. This is the percent of people who saw your video in their feed and actually clicked on it. Every person who sees your video in their feed is considered an impression. Picture it like this. Every single impression on YouTube is like a slot. There's a limited amount of slots in a given feed, so YouTube is pretty selective with it. Why would they give a video that has a low click-through rate an impression when they could give an impression to a video that actually has a high click-through rate and it's proven that people are willing to click it? It's much more valuable for YouTube. Your click-through rate is determined by your thumbnail, your title, and your idea. This is the first thing a viewer even sees, so you really need to focus on this. Your goal is to make your video the most appealing to click on out of every other impression on their feed, but the best way to stand out is being in a niche that has a ton of viewers willing to watch. To help with that, I have a playlist of a bunch of viral niches I find, and I'll be constantly updating it. These are niches I would use myself. A lot of you guys were asking me how I find my niches, so if you're wondering, the majority of these niches are found with algro. But what percent should you be shooting for? Well, the average CTR on YouTube sits around 4 to 5%, and anything below 3, YouTube definitely won't push it. The next stat the algorithm focuses on is the retention graph. This is by far more important than CTR. You want this graph to be as flat as possible, as high as possible, and the initial dip to be as small as you can manage. The graph will always go down over time because viewers just naturally leave no matter what you do. If you're losing too many viewers at the start, your hook is bad. If your graph is too steep, your storytelling and video idea is bad. But after the algorithm pushes your video in the browse feed for a bit, it starts being shown in the suggested feed. This is the sidebar when someone's watching another video. YouTube really only pushes your video in the suggested feed after it tests it in browse first, because the suggested feed is much more dependent on your target audience. So YouTube naturally waits until they have more data before showing your videos there. These impressions in the suggested feed are much more valuable to YouTube because their goal is to keep people on the platform for as long as possible. Now, these 2 stats are the most visible things you can improve, but beyond that, the algorithm tracks a ton of different things. Engagement, what the comments are about, likes, shares, subscriptions gained or lost, returning viewers, viewer satisfaction surveys, not interested clicks, search terms, whether your video started a session, whether it ended it, and what the viewer did after watching. And there's 3 things I said at the end, all fall into session time. If your video makes someone spend more time on YouTube, this is the strongest signal you can send to the algorithm. This is why linking your viewers to a playlist or another video at the end helps so much, even if it's not related to you. You can see this in action on my videos. The first long-form video on my channel went viral, and one of the reasons for that is because at the very end, I linked viewers to a playlist with a bunch of viral niches. This playlist got tens of thousands of views, and because of my video, even though it was relatively short, I got viewers to spend more time on YouTube, and the algorithm rewards that. As you continue to post more videos and start gaining traction, you start to build an audience. YouTube shows your next videos to people who watched your previous ones first, so you always have a solid seed audience going into every upload. But if you're struggling finding ideas, once again you can use algro for this. You can actually integrate it with Claude, and you'll be able to instantly analyze all your competitors through using it, so check it out. And if you want a free personalized channel review or need help with anything, join the Discord.